Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing fantastically well. I hope you've got your coffee, your tea, your wine, your beer, wherever you are in this beautiful place that we call planet Earth. And we are back with the rumour mill. Doesn't that sound absolutely fantastic? Yeah, listen, it's been a while since I've properly spoken to you. I'll be honest, guys, the last time I spoke to you, I was absolutely dead on my feet. I was talking to you through absolute COVID gills, minging, horrible. Take that thing seriously. I don't want to preach, but seriously, take it seriously because I care about you guys, and I want you to be happy and healthy. And all of my family have now contracted COVID-19, which is grim, but we're trying to take the necessary precautions, and hopefully everybody's going to be fine as soon as possible. But yeah, they're on the mend, they're all right. But yeah, listen, it was a bad time. Hope you've enjoyed the content. There's been a lot that's gone on, hasn't there? There's been Stuart Dallas signing a new contract. There's been Jack Harrison signing a new contract. There's been Junior Firpo, which I did say was happening. Listen, I know my things. I know some things. Junior Firpo, the 10 things about Junior Firpo that you might not know about Junior Firpo is now out on the channel. That was out yesterday at 8 a.m. I knew it was happening. I knew it was happening at noon. But listen, yeah, go check that out if you haven't already, and all the Junior Firpo stuff. The videos seem to have gone down really well. But now we move on, don't we? We move on to ventures new. We move on to potentially a new signing, new news. And today there's a massive event for one of our starlets, Calvin Phillips, taking part in a Euro 2020 semi-final for England. Good luck, Calvin. Come on, boys. Let's bring it home. Adam Crafton, who is a writer for The Athletic, has essentially said yesterday that Leeds United have moved on with their Firpo interest. We had that one done, signed, sealed and delivered around about a week ago now. He's been in England for 3 or 4 days, had all that tied up, but now apparently Leeds United are looking at gunning for another central midfielder. Apparently it's a young central midfielder, which I find really interesting. Is it going to be a 23? Is it someone who's going to be ready to step up into the first team? You would hope so. We were all talking last year about Leeds United's tendencies to not have that depth in the middle of the park, to need someone. There was a necessary gap that needed filling, if you will, in my personal opinion, and a lot of Leeds fans' opinion. So we do need to get that one done for me. That is one position. Let me know in the comment section below how many more signings you think Leeds United need to make. For me, it is the grand number 2. I would love I would love a winger, and I would love another central midfielder. Please let me know in the comment section. But it's really interesting to see that Adam Crafton is saying that we're in for one more young centre mid. Listen, I don't think any journalist knew that we were getting Firpo, so I'm not 100% sure that the journalists will be on the money with just saying that we have one more signing coming through the door. I think there is going to be potential for 2. Now, Nandez has gone quiet, hasn't it? It's been quiet since I've been off the rumour mill. I've been off One Leeds, and I think I'd heard from obviously my work and a couple of people that was all coming from their end. Nothing was coming from Leeds' end. Very similar to the Rodrigo de Paul scenario, where it was all coming from his camp and it wasn't coming from the Leeds United camp. So yeah, whether or not Leeds have got him on a long list, we don't know, but a long list doesn't make it to the short list. We all know that in football, if you can't get your short list of 6 or 8 players on there that you've got targeted, with maybe bringing 3 or 4 of those players in, that long list isn't even going to get looked at. So that's something you need to bear in mind. But for me and for what I've heard, Nandez will not get done. So yeah, keep your eye on that one. Miguel Gutierrez is a Real Madrid teenager. Interestingly enough, apparently it is between Leeds and West Ham for his signature. It's another youngster that Leeds United are looking to bring in, a loan option to buy. He wants to apparently work and play obviously in the Premier League. That's going to be fascinating to see if Leeds can get that one done. Miguel Gutierrez has been on many clubs' radars. I think I've done him on the rumour mill as well before. A left-sided player can play left mid, he can play left wing, but notoriously he is a left back. And why this is interesting is because we've seen really that Leif Davis hasn't really featured for Leeds United under Marcelo Bielsa. There's been rumours that Niall Huggins will be moving on from Leeds United as well, which I think we're all quite shocked by. But there has been rumours. We don't know if that's foundation, but there is a lot of talk of apparently Niall Huggins looking for another club. But Miguel Gutierrez would be that alternative to Niall Huggins and Leif Davis. So are we going to see another player come in to be a little bit of a backup to Junior Firpo? So we have those two waiting in line because apparently he's not going to get a chance at Real Madrid. Loan to buy. Zinedine Zidane has called him a phenomenal talent before. And listen, we know what Victor Orta can do, especially in the Spanish market, so keep an eye on that one. David Norris has come out, and you know what? I wanted to highlight this one because David Norris, this could actually be a good shout. Normally there's tabloid crap with no foundation. It's just all about clickbaits. There's no discussion like we try to provide on the One Leeds Fan Channel. There's no balance like we try to provide on the One Leeds Fan Channel. It's just sort of trivial rubbish and throwing a name out there. But an interesting name that he has thrown out, Joe Willock. Now, we're talking about a young central midfielder. Adam Crafton at The Athletic has said that apparently Leeds are in for another young central midfielder. Would Joe Willock fit that bill for you? He had an unbelievable loan spell at Newcastle last season. For me, he kicked on. He really helped them kick on and stay in the division. Him and obviously the sort of inconsistent spells of Alan Saint-Maximin coming back from injury, and obviously Callum Wilson. But Joe Willock he was scoring in every single game. I think he consistently scored in about 7 games, which was a record for Newcastle. But he's a really good player. We've obviously seen him play against Leeds as well. Very good on the ball, very good off the ball. He's been at an elite club with an elite mentality like Arsenal. Well, maybe not in recent times mentality-wise at Arsenal, but if Leeds were able to get him for a good price, you know, a lot of people are talking about 20 million. Would Joe Willock be a goer for you? Would that be someone who you would, maybe at least put the feelers out there and ask, what would the price be for Arsenal? Apparently Arsenal are looking to sell some of the youngsters who maybe are not going to be able to make that step up. We've already heard about Eddie Nketiah potentially going to Bayer Leverkusen. Is Joe Willock going to be the next one off the gravy train? And would you go and get him? He already has pedigree in the Premier League. He's played in the Champions League. He's played in the European competitions as well. Actually, that's a lie. He hasn't played in the Champions League. He's played in the Europa League. So Arsenal haven't been there in years. But in the European competitions at least, which is a big factor. Would you go out and get Joe Willock? I mean, I don't think it's a bad shout at all. Obviously, it depends on how much his valuation would be. But apparently, there is an absolute fundamental no for Illan Melia going to PSG. That's according to several outlets this morning. Apparently, PSG have inquired about the young Frenchman. We heard it earlier on. I spoke about it on the rumour bill. Illan Melia potentially crossing the water and going to Paris Saint-Germain. It looks like that's not happening. Leeds have indefinitely said that is not happening. Illan will be staying with Leeds United. An unbelievable future for this kid. I can't wait to see him next year. Only 21 years of age, 6'7". He's got all the technical prowess you'd want in a goalkeeper. The modern goalkeeper who plays out from the back. He's very good with his feet and someone who really could be with Leeds United for the next 15 years. Touch wood if we're lucky. That would be absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, apparently Leeds categorically, that's not even going to be a rumour anymore, guys. We're not even going to touch on that anymore because PSG apparently have tentative, quote unquote, tentative interest in Melia, and several reports have said that they've actually asked Leeds about Melia. Leeds have said no. And what a great period this is to be a Leeds fan. Imagine that happening 5 or 6 years ago. It'd have been 20p and a packet of Kellogg's Frosties and he'd have been on the plane, wouldn't it? But Leeds United are in a completely different trajectory now, and that trajectory is only going up. Matias Booby has left to go on loan to Ibiza. I'm sure he'll have a good time out there, won't he? But Matias Booby, that's an interesting one, isn't it? It seems to be he was part of the under-23 setup. He was part of the under-23 setup that was going to break through. We saw him in the Australia pre-season tour, and you thought maybe he's going to make that sort of entrance into the first team at some point. He had really good technical ability. At that point, it was Pablo Hernandez who was our central attacking midfielder, but we didn't really have that sub-person who was able to come in. Was that going to be bogus? But he never made that transition into the first team, and I think that will potentially be a player who moves on next year. I mean, he's not really been a servant. He's never properly had his chance. I don't think he's properly got the technical ability to be able to step up, so I think that's going to be bye-bye. Listen, massive news. LUFC Fan Zone, who are all over social media, go check those guys out. They've had a source on the inside speaking to Matthias Cunha. They had a source on the inside for Junior Firpo as well, speaking to his agent. And according to that source, Matias Cunha's agent has come out and said that he does not expect Cunha to go to Leeds this summer. Now, we've already covered this on Leeds United Live. Once again, I think it is heavy from Matias Cunha's end. I don't think there's that much coming from Leeds United's end at this moment in time. Apparently, Victor Orta has spoken to the agent of Matias Cunha, but nothing has come to the fruition. And apparently, quote unquote, he said that the Cunha's agent has said that if Leeds aren't willing to put him as the #1 priority, he will be staying at Hertha Berlin this summer. Now, we look at the price range, guys. If it's 30 to 35 million euros, you know, with what we can get in this market, with what we've done previously with the likes of Robin Kopp, the likes of Diego Llorente, the likes of Rafinha, now the likes of Junior Firpo, do you really see Leeds going out and spending that sort of money? I mean, naturally, we've never been that sort of club anyway, so we've never had the money. But now we've made that step up. We do have a substantial cash pot in comparison to what we had, but Leeds have never been that club that have just shelled out tons of money. Unless it was the Ridsdale era. But you could literally look back at that Rodrigo sign and think that was 30 million. That's a big price tag for Leeds United. Can I see us doing that in successive windows? I can't, to be quite honest with you. And it's really interesting. LFC Fan Zone said that apparently have spoken to the agent, and obviously Matias Cunha now is actually going to be part of Brazilian's Summer Olympic team, which means that it rules him out of pre-season and it rules him out of the start of the domestic season, which is massive. You know, I know how long it takes to get up to standard for this Marcelo Bielsa side. Not even just the standard technically, getting synergy with your teammates, getting that cohesive nature with your teammates. It's not only that. What else it is it's the fitness aspect. Is he going to be able to get to that level, which is that elite level of fitness under this side? And listen, Hertha Berlin, Bundesliga, he's been playing at the top level there, hasn't he? But Marcelo Bielsa's fitness regime is on a different level, isn't it? And that rules it out for me. When I heard that, when he'd been picked for their Summer Olympics team, that's Matias Cunha done. And as I said, I was talking about Nandes earlier, been part of a long list instead of a short list. From what we hear, from what we've heard at Leeds Live, it is the same thing. It is, you know, Matias Cunha's part of a long list. They like him, but he's not part of the short list, which is going to make that transition to Ellen Road this summer. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this full back in the car. You guys think you don't know where my wheel is. My wheel is here. It's not a what do you guys call it, a left-hand drive. It's not a left-hand drive. I'm not American. No, sometimes the phone flips and mirrors. Don't get too concerned. I sit on this side because it stands my phone up well. A load of waffle, but that's what I'm here for, guys. If you wouldn't mind liking, commenting, subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you doing? Make sure you do so. And come on, England, big game for us today, and I hope you've enjoyed the news. If you wouldn't mind liking the video, as I've just said, guys, that'd be great. See you in a bit. Cheers.